Welcome students. Today we'll begin a new topic about email writing. As you know that in today's modern world, the email are more important than what we used to do in the past by writing just letters. Because there are lots of benefits about email. Email is the widely used service through the internet. There are lots of benefits for using an email. First of all, it is very speedy. It has lots of speed. You can send information throughout the globe very quickly to lots of people simultaneously and without much error. The other benefit is that it doesn't get lost. The information mostly doesn't get lost, as in the past the letters used to get lost. The third thing about it is that it is a free service. If you have an internet connection, you get it free. You can send the information to large number of people, to groups, instantly without wasting time by sending the information to everyone individually, so it saves a lot of time. Other thing is that it is very easy to use an email. It's not at all difficult. You try it once or twice, you will get used to it and it becomes easy. And it is also economically and even on the basis of environment, if we think, it is more helpful because it reduces the lots of paperwork. Lots of paper is being saved because of this emails. Previously all the things were written on paper and posted, so it saves a lot of paper. That is very much helpful to the environment. Things that you should keep in mind while writing an email are that you cannot use short forms mostly, which you do use. Means many of them use you, they just put the alphabet U, they do not use Y or U. How are you, then they just write R. See, these types of short forms are not allowed while writing an email. The next thing is that the emails, they have no need to write the entire address for them. You just have a short email. In letters we used to write the entire address, but while writing an email, maybe it a residential or a commercial address, you just have to put the email address there, so no need to write a long address about it. Now, and one more thing is that most probably we get emails. When we do write emails, the date and time are sent automatically, but many times, because we are writing the email in the examination, so many have the option of writing, and many people do write the date, so it is necessary for us to write the date also. So we'll begin with email. Here on the screen, it's visible that this is an format of a email. Now, first of all, we begin with from the email address of the writer, the person who is writing. As if you are writing the email, you have to put your address, email address there. It can be anything that you choose to write, or the email address that you have made for your own identity. It may be xyz@gmail.com, or it may be your name as akashpatel@gmail.com, or anything of that sort. That is the way you begin. Next comes to, means to whom you are writing the email. The email address of the receiver, to whom you are sending this email. To the person to whom you are sending the email comes in the section of to. Now here there is an option of CCC and BCC. Now this CCC and BCC are mostly kept blank while writing, but if they are mentioned in the question for you in the examination, if they are mentioned, then only you have to add, otherwise you have to leave the space blank. Now what does this CCC and BCC mean? CCC and BCC is the email address of other receivers. Means if you are sending the same email address to lots of other people, then it comes under the section of CCC. And BCC is the same thing, it goes to lots of people, but those who receive do not get the address of the other people, those who have received this email. But this is totally optional when you need to send it to more than one person. So BCC and CCC are kept mostly blank. Now comes the date. Again, the format of the date has to be written in this form. As for example, I have written 14 September 2020. You cannot use the short form here. Now comes the important thing, that is the subject. The subject of the email is very, very important for you, because by reading the subject, the receiver must understand that for what cause the email has been written, what is the reason for writing the email. So it has to be in maximum 3 to 4 words that you will be writing the subject of the email. Try to keep it short, don't keep it too long. Now comes, after finishing the subject, comes the salutation. Now what does the salutation word mean? Salutation means mostly these words that I've used, that are dear or respected, that we use, that is known as a salutation. So that's why we have put an arrow there. Salutation gives you the understanding that it is an to the person to whom we are writing, that is the salutation. Now comes the important part, that is the body of the email. Now the body of the email is the entire thing that you do write in an email. For example, it has to be first of all in a paragraph form. Mostly the body is also written in a large format, in a large paragraph, and it consists of almost everything that the what you want to say through your email. So, and in that you have to mention who is writing, why, what is the purpose of writing this email, what is the reason that you are writing this email, a bit of introduction, why are you writing the email, that has to be written. What is the reason for you to write the email? So that comes in the body part. It has the introduction of the writer and the purpose of the email. You have to introduce a bit of yourself, and then you have to write about the purpose, why you are writing this email, what is the reason for writing the email. Many of them do finish this in a single paragraph. But in the second paragraph that we come across, that is the conclusion. Now the conclusion part is the second paragraph. It is a short paragraph of 2 to 4 lines. Now how you conclude? In just that, when you end the email, that is known as the conclusion, the ending part of the email. If you are writing an email to your friend that, okay, to hope to see you soon and give my regards to your parents and your remembrance to our friends, etc., etc., that is known as the conclusion. It has to be in just 2 to 3 sentences. That is enough. After the conclusion comes the last portion, that is the known as the closure. Now what is the closure? Closure is mostly that how we end the email, by writing as if you are truly, yours faithfully, etc. at the end. Just there is not much difference between the email and the letter that we used to write. Only a bit of change in the format, because in the letter we used to write the complete address. Here we are writing from, to, CCC, BCC if it is provided, subject. Rest all the portions are just the same. So the closure is, what is the closure? That is yours faithfully or yours lovingly, your truly. That comes according to the question. It may be ABC or the name given in the question. So whatever it has been provided in the question, that comes at the end. Now this attachment part, the attachment part is specially done in the formal letters. Mostly you will find them in if you are writing an email in such a way, at that time you need attachments. Now attachment is if you are if you are writing to some email to the government or to an office, then at that time you need to send the proof. So if you are complaining about things, then you can attach a photo about whatever the problem is there. You can if there is anything which is documented, then you can send the Xerox copy or the copy of the document or the previous letter that you want to show that I had previously complained and I have not received this, or anything of that sort. At that time when you want to do, that is known as the attachment. And that is, keep one thing in mind, that is after you have completed the closure, means after actually ending the entire email, then you add attachments. Okay, in such a copy of a business documents, letters, photo, id, etc., many times you need to add your identification also. At that time you can add the attachments. So this is how you write the formal letter. This is the format of a formal letter. There is not much difference between the formal and the informal email. Only the difference is, as I told you, that the informal one is written to our friends or to our relatives or family members, and mostly attachments are not needed. If you are sending some pictures or your family photographs, at that time you can add the attachment, but mostly it is also not necessary, because at that time you are just writing it in an informal way. So this is how you write an email. We'll go in detail again about what things are to be written and how they are to be written. Now as you can see that this is a format made easy for you. See, first we'll begin with from, means the sender's email ID. To the recipient who is receiving the email, his email address. CCC other individuals using the same mail with visible IDs, means they can see. BCC is other individuals, maybe lots of people others to whom you are sending, receiving the same email without with invisible IDs, means they won't be able to see the other people's address. Subject, title of the reason for writing the mail, why you are writing this email. Salutations, words like dear, respected, hi, etc. are used. Main body, the main content of the email, why you are writing the email, that is the introduction matter, what you are writing in it in detail. And after that comes the conclusion part that we have talked about in 2 to 3 lines, that is more than enough. After that comes the closure, there, that is the ending statement, that how we end by saying yours lovingly or yours faithfully, truly, anything. And after that the name of the person, that is if you are writing the address, if you are writing the email, then your name, or if the name has been provided, most probably the names will be provided in the questions. You are not allowed to use your name anywhere. So you can, if the name has not been provided, you can just put XYZ at the end. And if it is provided that Mahesh Shah is writing an email to Paresh Patel, then you have to use the name Mahesh Shah. So in that form. And after that the attachment that I told you, if any attachments are needed, only that much is necessary. So this is also just a format of the email. One more format to make it more easy. See, from is the sender, in the way that the sender and at abcmail.com or gmail.com, anything you can add in this format. So the sender, whatever the name or address is, and after that abc or gmail.com, that will be the sender address. Next is the receiver, who will receive, that also can be the name and at the rate xyzmail gmail.com, that will be the receiver's address to whom you are sending. Then the date, again in the full format. Subject, about the format of the email writing, means the subject of the email, why you are writing the email. Leave a blank line, and after that dear or respected friend or sir. Salutations, that is the beginning. Body of the email must contain complete sentence. Each topic should be told or asked in newspaper. Use please let me know when you need a reply, or kindly or please for asking help. These are just the helping words for you. At the end we come to regards or the salutation. At the end, when we come, not the salutation but the closure, your faithfully, your lovingly, complimentary, and after that your name. If the name has been provided, that name you have to use. So this is again one of the formats. Now there is difference, I will just explain in short the difference between formal and informal email, so that we may not need 2 lectures to do it, because there is not much difference. See, the only difference is in the formal and in the informal way, that the purpose to be sent important and business messages, responses to queries, sales, marketing, proposals. Formal emails can be solicited, means held, or unsolicited. These are the way that we write the formal. And informal email, we use the purpose of to communicate message of having informal, that is to our friends or family members, that comes under informal one. Next is difference between the formal and email is the that how we use the words. See, while writing the formal letters, we cannot use personal words. We cannot be very much personal while writing, and mostly the formal letters are a bit short as compared to the informal ones. Because informal we can talk about anything of our family experience and the time that we had spent, etc., etc., for the all these things that we can add in the informal one. But in the formal we are writing it to a official person, so we have to be very short and simple, and we have to just concentrate on the topic of what we are writing. If it is a complaint or anything else, we have to just be on that. We cannot be personal while writing an email. Next is again one of the differences that the subject line, like the heading of a newspaper, when you write the subject, it has to be just like a heading. In the formal, in informal, you can use any words because it is going to be you are addressing to your family members or your friends, anything, any subject you can add your personally. Subject should give, in the formal email, the subject should be given a basic idea about the purpose why you are writing this email. If you are complaining about something, then you have to write about that particular subject. In an informal, it is not necessary because mostly in informals you don't complain or you don't ask. Those are just friendly types of emails that we use. Now, the style and the accuracy of the writing is that the formal has to be to the point, short, so that the person whoever is reading is going to get your point, and there should not be any grammatical mistakes, spelling mistakes. You should be checking about that, so that the person who is reading the email gets a better impression of you. And in the informal, the grammar and punctuation doesn't matter much because those are the persons, those who are going to are specially close to you, those who are going to read, because there is a freestyle normally you write in an informal letter, so there much grammatical mistakes are not to be considered. So few more points we can see. Closing of the email in a formal letter is dear, and the beginning is dear sir. We can use madam, mr, or whatever the name has been provided. In the same way, informal one, such as the pattern is required, and closing at the first name of the initials, and where are you, how are you, I am fine, all this you can use in informal. You cannot use these words in a formal email. So few more steps just for you to go through, just take a look at them. Steps for writing an informal email. See, write an email address to your friend whom you send this email to. That is in the second portion is write the title of your email in the subject line. Start your message with hello, hi, or how are you. Then write the message. Check the spelling, grammatically errors once you complete the message. End your email with see you soon or yours forever. Then sign your name or whatever the name has been provided. Now, steps while writing a formal email, the things will change a bit. Write the email address into the person or the company you like to send this email to. If you're writing to a personal, if it's a person maybe at any post of a manager or commissioner, collector, anything, add to him. Or if you're writing it to the company, that address you have to mention. The next is write the title about the email of the subject line, whatever you want to know. If you are asking an information, giving an information, complaining, or even appreciating the work of the government, at that time also you can use those words in your subject line. That will become your subject. That is to be in 3 to 4 words. Write the actual message in a clear, concise, means in short manner. Don't forget to check your spellings and grammatical errors once you complete the message. Again, the same thing, you have to check it. Check the message and make sure you include and justified the reason you are writing the email. Means after writing the main body, you should read it once again and check out that whatever you have written is going to create a good impression on the other person who is reading, and will he be able to understand what you have written in the email. Is he going to get your point? Is your email easy for him to understand, and whatever you are complaining or whatever you are suggesting, is it easy for him to understand? Cause you have the picture in the mind, but the other person who is reading is just reading at the words, so he should also get the picture in his mind. So you have to be very clear about it. And end your email with yours faithfully. Here you cannot end the email while writing this kinds of letter. You cannot end the email by saying yours lovingly or your these types of words. You have to use yours faithfully or yours sincerely, because we are not personal with these people. We are writing a formal one. That's why we cannot use your lovingly or these types of ending words. And so you have to use yours faithfully or yours sincerely. So these are the things that we have to keep in the mind while writing an email. I'll be giving you few questions about email that you have to two emails I will be giving. One will be of a formal email and the other one will be an informal email. You have to complete those both the emails in your fair book. And again I'm telling that these emails you have to write in the grammar fair book. So only one thing you have to do, you have to just add on the beginning, in the beginning I had kept the format of the email which I had written with pen. So that email, that format you have to just copy it down, and after that I'll be giving you two questions. Those two questions, one of the formal and the other of the informal, you have to just write down the answers. You have to complete the email. So you will have the format and two examples of the email in your fair book. So this is the way that you write the email. You have to finish your work. I will be sending the questions with this lecture itself. So please do copy out the format from the screen that was provided to you and write down both the answers in your grammar fair book. Thank you.